Smartphones have come a long way. From everyone aspiring to own a piece of the elusive flagship pie, companies like Xiaomi and OnePlus have made it possible for users to cherish these so-called flagships, and that too at a budget. The Mi4i is an attempt from Xiaomi to stir up some magic in their flash sale based empire in the Indian market. The company wants to replace the segment that the Mi3 held with the Mi4i. My name is Bharat, and today we're going to be reviewing the Mi4i. The Mi4i is priced at Rs 12,999 and it replaces essentially the Mi3 in the lineup from Xiaomi. Between the Mi4 and the Mi4i, a lot seems to be different. The Mi4i, for one, is cheaper, also has dual SIM capabilities and LTE enabled on both those SIM cards. Now this LTE network is mostly worldwide unlocked and both TDD and FDD networks are supported, so you're more or less set when LTE starts rolling out in the country. The Mi4i is based on Qualcomm's Snapdragon 615 chipset, which is essentially an octa-core chipset based on 1.7 GHz quad cores plus a 1.1 GHz quad core combination. For graphics, you get the Adreno 405 GPU. You also get lesser 2 GB of RAM compared to the 3 GB found on the Mi4, and you get a 3120 mAh battery. The inbuilt storage on the Mi4i is 16 GB, and you get about 12.7 GB free. There is no micro SD card expansion on the Mi4i. The Mi4i also runs MIUI 6, which is on top of Lollipop, making the update cycle less redundant for the Mi4i. While the company's flagship, the Mi4, still runs KitKat, albeit on MIUI 6, but you have an older version of the Android operating system. Build quality is good. The Mi4i or the Mi4i is made out of polycarbonate, and Xiaomi basically pulled an apple out of the hat. The Mi4i is to the Mi4 what Apple's iPhone 5C was to the iPhone 5S. The front has no lip to protect the glass, so a protector or a case might be a necessity if you're going to be carrying this handset around. Talking about the display, the Mi4i sports a 1920 by 1080p 5-inch IPS LCD display with a total pixel density of 441. Xiaomi has also introduced a new sunlight display technology, which essentially boosts the display outdoors, letting you view it slightly better if you're in a really high brightness environment, sort of improving the display quality. Now this does work, especially when you're outdoors in direct sunlight, but the gain is not as much as you would expect, and it improves the visibility slightly and allows you to see the screen slightly better. The main camera is a 13 megapixel camera and the front camera is a 5 megapixel camera, which is lower from the 8 megapixel on the Mi4. The main camera also shoots only 1080p versus the Mi4 could shoot 4K video. The UI for the camera is more or less identical and easy to manage. You get a bunch of options towards the left and a lot of filters towards the right. The camera shutter is quite fast and you can have multiple shots taken in succession, as the camera does not take too much time to store an image. While the camera UI is more or less functional, if you want slightly more advanced options, I would recommend downloading a third-party camera app. The main camera on the Mi4i is a 13 megapixel sensor made either by Sony or by Samsung, and you have an f2.0 aperture on the lens. Low light performance is good and color reproduction is great on images. You'll see that outdoors the images flourish and you get really good amounts of detail on the camera of the Mi4i. Dynamic balance of the images is pretty good as well. The only limiting factor on the device is going to be the storage, which you're going to run out of because you're going to be taking a lot of pictures. The front camera is a 5 megapixel camera with a slightly better f1.8 lens, allowing you to take higher quality selfies. And also with this new beautify feature that Xiaomi has added into the app, it allows you to sort of improve your skin quality on the images, allowing you to click better and cleaner selfies of yourself. So in case you want to do that, or in case you're a selfie freak, this feature might come in handy. Now all the party gimmicks aside, the performance on the handset seems to be good and day-to-day usage is not going to be a problem. The device scores a hefty 38,238 on the Antutu benchmark. However, this is not the best score that we've seen, and if you compare it on the ranking, it comes in down low under the Xiaomi Mi3, which is thanks to the processor and its capabilities. Now bear in mind that this test was run on the 64-bit enabled AnTuTu benchmark 5.7. Now, there have been a lot of complaints about the device overheating and causing discomfort to the users. We did not face any of those situations, and the heat levels more or less remained under the 40-degree mark. If you've been gaming or using the browser for a really long time, you'll see the device to get slightly warmish from the back, and temperatures remained around the 40, which is healthy for a smartphone. In certain situations, however, we reached up to 50 degrees in the temperature, which is extremely hot and may not be easy to handle. While MIUI is really nice to look at and can be customized quite a lot, it is also one of the major reasons that Xiaomi handsets display this sort of lag in the UI. Now you can completely remove Xiaomi's MIUI by replacing the launcher or installing a custom launcher from the store. You can also possibly in the future replace the ROM entirely and install stock Android. It can't happen out of the box right now. For what it costs, the Mi 4i actually has a good report when it comes to performance. You'll face zero or no lag in day-to-day performance, and you'll actually jump through applications in most of the cases. The load-up times on games as well as on the boot of the device is actually really high, and that could be something to do with the way the processor handles the tasks thrown by the MIUI. Sometimes you'll be stuck for minutes just loading up applications or big games, which could become a nuisance later on. Now in the traditional fashion, MIUI also has a bunch of shortcuts. You can customize the user interface to add more and sort of make it your own device. You can install a bunch of themes and add-ons from the theme store as well as the Mi store and customize the phone's overall aesthetic appeal as well as the performance capabilities that you'll find on the device. Now just like previous versions of the MIUI, you do not have an application drawers and all your applications are right there on the home screen. More or less identical to the way iOS displays icons, and MIUI sort of replicates that in doing the way that they show the applications on the device. Now you can easily make folders and sort of sort your applications into groups, thereby removing a lot of clutter from the main home screen. You have an option to use the SwiftKey keyboard when you start up the device, or you can use Google's own keyboard or download several of the other third-party keyboards available on the Google Play Store. The Mi 4i does exactly what it's supposed to. It's a cheaper replacement to the Mi 4, along with the fact that it sort of displaces the 12 to 13,000 price bracket in the Indian market by allowing you to get a device that is slightly more feature packed than the current set of devices. Now you do have a Eureka available with the similar chipset, but you do not have the same display or the same camera capabilities that the Mi 4i offers. Also, we feel that the Mi 4i has a slightly better build quality when compared to the Eureka. Now, as far as battery is concerned, with a 3120 mAh battery, you can easily find yourself going into the second day without worrying too much about the battery life. Battery performance was consistent throughout our tests, and we did not see any discrepancy in one charge from another. In overall looks and appeal, the Mi 4i is possibly the best looking phone in this price bracket as well, and the look of the phone very identical to Apple's styling. The Mi 4i is available in limited quantities on Flipkart if you register for their flash sales, and the price is 12,999 for the 16GB variant. You do have a lot of other options in the market, including the new Asus Zenfone 2, the Eureka, possibly the new Euphoria that's going to be launched on the 12th of May to sort of take on the new set of devices available in the market. Let's see what the future holds for the Mi 4i, but for now it seems like a really well-rounded device at a really good price, delivering a good result overall. If you have any questions or queries, you can visit our full review on iGyaan.in. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. This is Bharat. Thank you guys for watching.